Hey guys, it's Nosum, and today I thought I'd do something different. You see, a while back I was scrolling through YouTube trying to figure out what to watch, and in my feed I saw a video from Comicstorian. Now, if you don't know who Comicstorian was, his real name was Ben Potter, and his channel was, and still is, the biggest comic book channel out there, and who tragically passed away in a car accident last year. And it got me thinking, YouTube's changed a lot in the past 20 years. The site's been around since I was in elementary school, and I still remember the days of Etika and when Fred and the Annoying Orange were the biggest channels in the platform. God, I feel old. Sorry if I gave some of you all Vietnam War style flashbacks for bringing them up. But anyways, back on topic. Like I said, the site's changed a lot in the past 20 years. Being a YouTuber is now a viable career option, with the end goal I'm pretty sure for most of us is getting the MatPat ending and riding off into the sunset. However, that's not always the case, as some of them pass away before they get to that point. And so, I thought it would be a cool idea to talk about some of the YouTubers that I've watched, those that we've lost along the way, and share my experience watching them, as well as shed more light on them. Now, I want this to be from the heart, so I'm going to be freestyling this. However, I'm not really good at freestyling. In fact, I tried to do this with a few videos on my channel, but they came out so bad I ended up having to redo them with an actual script. In fact, I had to redo this intro multiple times because it just wasn't coming out good. However, I've written some notes to help me out with this, so let's see how this goes. So sit back, relax, and maybe watch me suck at some Bed Wars in the background. Now, if you're wondering why I'm so bad at this game, it's because the last time I played Minecraft competitively in any way was when I was in middle school. So let's start with Comicstorian. Now, I started watching him around 2014, 2015 when people were getting really excited for Age of Ultron. And around that time, I decided to start getting into comics. Now, I believe the first video I watched from his was either his Avengers vs. X-Men video or his Death of Wolverine video. His channel was a good gateway into the landscape, which helped me learn more about the characters from Marvel and DC, as well as introduced me to some events such as Civil War and Flashpoint. I listened to him a lot during my latter years of high school. I was on the wrestling team back then, and had to do a lot of cardio on the treadmill. And if you've ever run on a treadmill before, you know how dull it can be. So listening to his videos helped time go by faster. I also remember him trying to start up Comicstorian. Every time he tried to start it up, it would get taken down due to copyright strikes. Which is kind of funny, since now there are a bunch of manga channels doing what he was trying to do. Although it looked like by the fourth time he was starting it up, it looked like it was finally sticking. Now, I stopped reading comics around the time Secret Empire came out, as well as when Marvel introduced the most insufferable character in all of fiction, that being Riri Williams. Well, she was until Paul was introduced. However, I started reading comics again thanks to Marvel and DC's new Ultimate and Absolute lines. I knew he read a few Ultimate books before his death, which made it pretty shocking when it was announced that he died. At least with the others that I'm talking about, there was at least some implication where like, okay, things might not turn out so great, but you're still rooting for them. You're like, don't worry, man, you got this. You're gonna get through this. With Ben, it was just like 1, 2, 3, poof, he's gone, which is something that shocked a lot of people because the guy was healthy as an ox. Which sucks because the guy will never be able to experience so many things. He won't be able to check out any of the Absolute books from DC. I think he would have liked Deadpool and Wolverine. Hell, I'm pretty sure he would have been baffled like the rest of us when it was announced that RGJ would be playing Doctor Doom. I would have loved to hear his thoughts on James Gunn's Superman when it comes out. His birthday was the other day, and he would have been 41 if he was still alive. Now, his channel is still kept running thanks to his family and friends, and I still tune in to watch the new Ultimate and Absolute videos. And so I want to say thank you, friends and family of Ben, for keeping both his channel and his memory alive. Now, let's talk about Etika. Now, I didn't really watch too much of Etika when he was alive. I mostly remember him for his over-the-top Smash Bros. Reaction, as well as that time he fooled everyone with that fake Nintendo Switch. I think it was right after it was revealed. He was just like, hey guys, I got the Switch early. And everyone was like, how did you get it? How? And it turns out, oh, it was a fake. Although he would have to top that with the Switch too, which makes me wonder what he would have thought of the console. Hell, I'm pretty sure he would have been as pissed as the rest of us when it was announced that games on that console would cost at most $80. However, one of my most fond memories from Etika were these videos from Giancarlo Mago called Etika Killed by Pokemon. They were clips from a Nuzlocke he was streaming on Twitch where, if you donate money, you could kill his Pokemon. And Etika would always kill his most valuable Pokemon. I remember this one time he was playing Pokemon X and Etika gave him 5 minutes to run to the other side of the region to get his fossil Pokemon, otherwise he would kill his entire party. Suffice it to say, the guy was pretty pissed when Etika did just that. He was also a big Pirate Besta fan. Those were effectively his waifus. I know I joked about them being swords in my last video, but let's be real, you'd probably be more interested in swords if you saw them. I remember the voice actor for those two, Sky Bennett, trolled him by saying, Etika likes Minecraft, which is a meme he absolutely hated. Although, it does suck that he never got to see those two in Smash. Which I guess is a good segue going into how he died, because by God, was it tragic. You could tell the guy was not doing well in his final days and was suffering from mental health. I remember him tweeting that he would off himself multiple times, and that one time he live streamed himself getting swatted because they wanted to put him into a hospital. Now, sadly, he did off himself, and I remember watching his goodbye video, and how it left me unease is the best way to describe it. It's something hard for me to put into words. However, this situation made me realize how important your mental health is, and how important it is to take care of yourself. Your own mental well-being is important, so please, if there's anything that you take away from this, it's that you take care of your own mental well-being. Now, sadly, his YouTube channel is no longer around, as when he was going off the rails, he posted some adult stuff to it, and it got terminated. Now, people have reposted his videos and live streams, which makes me glad because it allows other people to see how full of energy he was, and what made me and so many other people drawn towards him. Now, let's talk about Edd Gould. Now, Edd was an animator and the creator of Edgeworld, which is an animated series featuring him and some of his friends as they go on wacky adventures. Funny story, before YouTube was a thing, he put his videos on Newground, and I'm pretty sure most of you kids don't even know what Newground is. It's similar to YouTube, although you were able to post Flash games up there, and Edd did make a couple while he was around. Sadly, Edd was diagnosed with cancer, and while he was able to win the first round, he wasn't able to win the second round. Now, unfortunately, I didn't know of Edd while he was around. In fact, it was my friend Gortiamas who introduced me to Edgeworld shortly after he died. I remember one day he came to my house and he showed me one of the videos. I think it was What the Future, and I was hooked. And I'm not kidding you, we spent the rest of the day watching Edgeworld. I think it was halfway through the marathon where he showed me the video announcing Edd's death, and I was like, man, that's kind of heavy. And it's hard to believe that it's been over a decade since he died, as I'm now older than he was when he died, and was something that I was wrapping my head around for quite a while when I realized that. However, if it wasn't for Gort showing me Edgeworld, it wouldn't have reignited my admiration for animation. As, I'll be honest, I was an edgelord teenager back then who thought animation was for kids, so feel free to roast me in the comments for thinking that. Now, just like with Comicstorian, edgelord continued thanks to Ed's family and friends Tom Scott and Matt Grievous. It's kind of funny to go back and watch some of those old edgelord episodes, because the internet was very different back then. Those old videos are like a time capsule, representing what the internet was at that time. So, if you want an idea of how the internet was like when I was growing up, then go back and watch some of the edgelord episodes that Ed created. While recording this, it made me realize how much the animation space changed over the years, and it made me think what Ed would be doing if he was alive. It wouldn't surprise me if he was a key figure in that space, and did collabs with so many other animators and series. Sadly, we can only imagine. Now, the last person I want to talk about is Technoblade. Techno was a Minecraft YouTuber known for his work on the Dream SMP, winning the Great Potato War, and dominating every Minecraft tournament he was a part of. Sadly, just like with Edd Gould, he died due to cancer. When I heard the news, I thought, okay, he's gonna beat this thing. He's young, he has a lot of fight in him. He even had surgery getting rid of 99% of it. So it was pretty shocking when the So Long Nerds came out and it was revealed that he died, and was something that I was trying to wrap my head around for quite a while. I started watching him around the time the Dream SMP was getting popular, and it felt like he was going places. One of my favorite videos of him was when he dominated a Minecraft Hunger Games tournament with 2 other people, as well as one where the people of the Manberg wanted to kill him for blowing up their nation. They tried to gang up on him, but he killed half of them and only stopped when they took his horse hostage. They did try to publicly execute him by dropping an anvil on him, but he survived and then proceeded to kill one of them who was in full netherite with iron armor and a pickaxe. He beat him so badly, he scored to the guy's Minecraft skin. Now, some people say that he was the glue that held the Dream SMP together, and knowing how the server crashed and burned after he died, yeah, I can see that. It's kind of funny how we're still getting Technoblade content even after his death. Hell, his subscriber count effectively doubled after he died. I'm pretty sure he'd make a joke about it saying, not even death could stop my subscriber count from growing. He's almost about to reach 20 million subscribers, which is crazy, and I'm glad that the community is still keeping his memory alive. Although a big factor of that is thanks to Technodad. He's been telling us a lot about his son over the years, and one of the things he told us on Reddit, which I thought was pretty cool, was one of the last videos he watched was Solid JJ. And if you've been on my channel a good amount of time, you know Solid JJ is a good friend of mine. And being a Technoblade fan, it meant a lot knowing that one of my good friends gave Techno a nice good last laugh before he died. So thank you, Technodad, for sharing that piece of info. It means a lot, and thank you for keeping your son's community alive. Someone on Reddit once said this: the saying, Technoblade never dies, was once his promise to us, and now it's our promise to him. And I think that mentality applies to everyone I talked about here. Yeah, it sucks that they're no longer here. Yes, it sucks that they can no longer create content for us. Just because they're dead, it doesn't mean that they're truly gone. And thanks to all their videos, they won't be. And that doesn't apply to only the YouTubers I talked about. Apply that to all of them that passed away. Share their videos. Show the next generation and other people why you love them so much. Now, YouTubers typically do a call to action in their videos, telling them to subscribe, like the video, or to do something else. Well, today, I want you to check out all of those people I talked about. I left a link to some of my favorite videos about them in the description, so please, check them out and subscribe to all of them. Subscribe to Technoblade, subscribe to Comicstorian, subscribe to Ed's World. Although you sadly can't subscribe to Etika, but you get my point. And do me a favor, in the comments, type in the channel of a YouTuber that passed away so other people can see them, and we can share the word about them. Anyways, guys, that's all for me. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will see y'all later.